right.
So we are all the way live right now, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Dig the new logo, y'all. Let me get out of the real Big E's way so y'all can see.
You're good.
Yeah. Although, here, check the likeness. What do you think?
Right. I think she did a great job. I
Yeah.
Really
you
can't complain.
Yeah, see there? Yeah. Yeah, I think it worked. I think that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say made me look a little better.
Definitely made me look better. It almost looks like I got hair there. It's just a shadow, but it looks like hair. I'm just going to believe that it's hair.
Well, welcome in everybody to the Third Generation Wrestling Podcast, 3GW. Here, SummerSlam 2024 post show. The real Big E and Rob the Ambassador. What a show! Lots to talk about. Obviously. Yeah, I guess that's the only way I could really put it. A lot to talk about. Going from how they started the show to how they ended the show. They bookended it pretty well. A lot of storytelling, a lot of title changes. Some storylines ended, while some are still in the mix. And we're just starting to kind of get to that. We're not even at the climax. We're like, if we're talking about a movie, Act 1 just ended. We gotta get to Act 2, and then who knows when Act 3 will be. But we'll get into that breakdown here in a little bit. But overall, I enjoyed the show. I have some critiques, though. I will say that, but we'll get to that here in a few. SummerSlam taking place in Cleveland. I know I was the one bashing Cleveland for it being in Cleveland. Not really bashing Cleveland, but the event taking place in Cleveland, SummerSlam. But I gotta say, the crowd was really electric when it needed to be. And it was cool to see Jelly Roll and MGK again, especially since I just saw them last week in Milwaukee. That's where I met Braun Strowman as well. So it's just like, damn, I just saw y'all. So it's pretty cool. Before we get into the show, any comments you want to make before we start the breakdown and review?
Well, I thought it was an overall good show. We'll get into the reviews. While I didn't think there were any epic matches like you, I agree. The storytelling seemed to be kind of the focus tonight in a lot of these matches. But overall, man, I really enjoyed the show.
Yeah. Let me make sure I'm good here. I had to change mics.
Yeah.
So, because I noticed on the last couple of videos, my mic wasn't working, so I changed mics. Hopefully, it's working now.
Okay. So. Queen Nia on the post show right now.
Oh, okay. I had to cut it off because otherwise you'd be hearing it in the background. But
I've got it muted.
Like I said, kicked off actually with Jelly Roll. I was still running errands because I had to pick up groceries and stuff to get ready for the show. But I had it on my phone as I was doing that. I couldn't tell what song. I know he sang the song for SummerSlam. Did he do like America the Beautiful rendition too? Or
he did the America the Beautiful, and then he did. I think the song you're talking about is Liar.
Okay.
Good song. Yeah, he did that. Yeah. So. Yeah, he's going to be at the Iowa State Fair, and as much as I would like to go, man, tickets sold out instantly. So,
yeah, he's a real popular dude right now. I'm surprised I was able to even go see him. So yeah. Show kicked off. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Um, I think a very wise decision to start with this. Get us all intrigued right away. Crowd was very, 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 very into this match, hanging on every near fall, every blow. Um, very into the whole Dominic perspective. Coming into this, everybody kind of wondered, whose side is he really on, right? Is he playing Rhea? Is Rhea playing him? What's really going on? Um, I gotta say though, man, for a portion of this match, I was at some bullshit. Okay, here's why. I cannot suspend my disbelief enough to believe that you dislocated your shoulder and then rammed it multiple times to put it back in place. I just can't buy that shit. They pulled it off with Roman once. I let it go. I can't buy it again here because she did it multiple times. It's just like, come on. I'm not this fucking stupid. Okay, the crowd popped the first time she did it. I let it go. Then she did it again. Okay, all right. I really was about to. I was pissed. I was like, this is. I can't buy this. But it was. It got me back with the first Oblivion that Liv hit in the near fall, how the crowd reacted. Okay, they brought me back in. All right, let's get back to the match. Let's forget the shoulder. Um, and then the whole chair thing, Dominic going to grab the chair, and everybody thinking automatically, oh, he's turning on Rhea. But realistically, he was like, no, if you hit her with this chair, you don't win the championship. And it's like, yeah, he's right. He's right. He's right. Okay. Okay. So I'm still thinking he's gonna be on Rhea's side, and then eventually we see him distract the referee, slide the chair back in the ring. Liv hits Oblivion on Rhea again on the chair, pins him, pins her, and then we see the little makeout session after the match. And Liv Morgan, like I said, retained her championship. Um, and kind of figured one way or another she would, but I don't know. I don't know if I can't remember what I said yesterday. If I thought Dominic, I think I said Dominic would play a role. I don't know if I defined specifically what his role would be, but he definitely did, and he turned on Rhea totally. He made his bed. Now the other lying come Monday, and we'll see what happens with that. It brought my grade back up to pay-per-view worthy though. The crowd participation, their reactions were on point. They were really into this match. The wrestling was good. I don't think it's Rhea's best. Maybe she's still not 100%. But I will give Liv Morgan kudos. I felt like she was almost calling the match. And her facials and her movement was great. Dominic being Dirty Dom. The storytelling was great. So pay-per-view worthy.
I went pay-per-view worthy, and like you, I almost thought they went too far with the storytelling. The whole thing with the shoulder, like you, uh, I don't know, man. I just wasn't really buying. Obviously Rhea is healed and her shoulder's fine. I wasn't really buying that a run into the ropes all of a sudden busted her shoulder again, and then she uses the announce table to get it back. And like you said, she went to the well once too many times, right? I just thought they were going too far with the storytelling. I really felt like this match they could have just fought, and I think that would have been better
Yeah.
for the match.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I thought the wrestling was solid. I did predict on the show that I thought Dominic could play a part in this match. I just wasn't sure which way he would go, but I did say I thought it was a possibility that he would go with Liv, and he did. So that's what happened. But I still enjoyed the match. It was a good way to start. I go pay-per-view worthy, and I mean, man, if you're Dominic Mysterio, you've got the best job in the world, right? Don't you? I mean,
Yeah.
you get to play Rhea Ripley's girlfriend, and now you're getting to play
Yeah.
Liv's boy toy. I mean, life is good if you're Dominic Mysterio right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Um, yeah. But he's got Damian and well, let me hold off on that.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Let me put a pin in that real
Yeah,
quick.
we'll revisit that later in the show, and you all
Yeah,
will
yeah,
understand when we
yeah,
get there.
yeah. Hit the pause button on that one right quick.
Okay.
Right. Let's get into the next match. Um, got Braun Breaker going up against Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship here. Coming into this, I think it was what was it? Money in the Bank. That was the last.
Money in the Bank where they
Yeah,
had their last
yeah, they
match.
had
Yeah.
their last match. Pretty, a much longer match for sure. And I know that they're trying to push Braun really hard, and he's to me he's earned his stay where he is.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely with his speed and his strength and the endorsements he's gotten, and then being the son of Rick Steiner doesn't hurt. So I have no issue with the outcome of this match with him winning and beating Sami Zayn. I don't have an issue there. However, this match was entirely too short. This was a squash match, and I gotta go in my MJ book bag here. And this was some bullshit. Okay,
Oh wow, really?
this was goddamn too short. Two, it was like two, three moves, spear. And I know I'm the Goldberg fan and all, but like you did Sami Zayn that way? Like, come on, man. That match was way too short. I don't know if Rhea and Liv went too long and they just did Sammy dirty, but this was just here's my thing. It's his first singles championship. It didn't feel like it meant anything, but it being so quick. Like it should have been, and I won't say it should have been a struggle because the way they've been booking him, but I don't know. If you look at the match they had in Money in the Bank and you look at this match, it's just total polar opposites. It's just like this was bang bang. I mean the entrance their entrance just took longer than this match did. So I'm sorry. Again, I don't have a problem with the outcome. I have a problem with the bell to the bell. Period. Go ahead.
Okay, I can't go some bullshit. It being a squash, I, I mean, I kind of can see that. But what I will say is going into this, I did predict Breaker to win. Now, I didn't predict it to be as quick of a match as it was, but look, obviously they're trying to make Breaker look dominant. I mean, Sammy got over on him in the last match, clean. So Breaker comes out. I can see why Breaker would be more motivated and why he would be more intense. And even though Sammy is one of the greats, man, I like Sammy. I've really enjoyed what they've done with Sammy. His stories with the Bloodline, even before that, when they had him as this conspiracy theorist with the camera crew, I enjoyed that as well. Sammy's great, but I like it that WWE is trying to get younger, and they have something great in Braun Breaker. Man, the dude is just what 20, 24, 23, 24. He's young, and he's a
Mm,
badass, and he has the lineage.
oh yeah.
He's a Steiner.
Yep.
Um, so I think it's great. And so I can buy that a guy this young and strong and fast and quick, this dude is an absolute beast. I can buy that he could catch Sammy on an off night and beat him convincingly. And that's what happened tonight. So for me, I still didn't think the match was that great, but I won't go some bullshit, but I will go TV quality. I think the right guy won. I'm happy for Breaker. And I think he's going to make a great champion. I think it was the right choice.
All right, I'm trying to butcher this name. Rajin. Hoping I say that wrong. Sup, Biggie and Rob. I felt like it was a good SummerSlam, fun twist in the storyline that are going on. Don ripped Rhea's heart out. Yeah. And Finn, don't you try to sneak that in there.
You know what? Yeah, don't ruin our show. I wish Biggie, whatever your name. First of all, we appreciate you, but yeah, man, just we'll get to
You,
that. We'll
you
get to
tried
that.
to
But
you see where you tried to
we
sneak that in
appreciate
there.
you for viewing in, man. We appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you like what you see tonight, please tell your friends, man. We appreciate you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We appreciate the comment. Just
Yeah, but
stay on topic though.
let us
Stay
do
on
our
topic.
show. We'll get there.
That was a good try though.
Yeah, yeah.
We're doing this a little while. All right. Moving right along here. Whew. What a night. What a night. We got Logan Paul defending the
Cleveland's
United
own.
States Championship against LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I know you and good brother, rightfully so, by the way, have um I won't say criticized, but y'all have had uh reservations when it comes to LA Knight in the in-ring portion. And as I said, rightfully so. However, tonight I was thoroughly impressed. I felt like he really, really stepped it up. It's as if the higher ups knew, like he had the gimmick, he had the mic, he had the crowd, but you're just missing this one piece. And if you just add some things to your repertoire, take some risks, because he definitely took some risks tonight, and I applaud that. You can tell he was trying some new things that worked in his favor. Um, really was impressed with the excuse me when he was on top the turnbuckle. He's in the middle of the turnbuckle, jumps backwards, and then does the move. I was like, oh, okay, no hands and everything. All right, cool. Um, Really, really, really impressed with that. With the elbow drop, and then but Logan Paul then right after that has to upstage him with tight rope walk and then the backflip on the outside. He's like you try to hate Logan Paul, but then he does these crazy stunts and these spots. It's like I really can't hate the man. Dude really puts his body on the line. Um, we all know Logan Paul with that loaded those I don't know if that's real or not, but the loaded right hand, he LA Knight kicked out of that. That and then kudos again to do like almost Kevin Owens or Andrade where he ran and jumped to the top rope and did the slow motion, I don't know, superplex sprain buster thing the LA Knight did. Awesome. Like, dude is he really wowed me in this. And got a little help from MG, or almost a little help from MGK with the brass knuck chain, and didn't work. LA Knight was able to hit the BFT for the win. We got a new US champ, rightfully so. I gotta say, probably his best match since he was in NXT for sure. Best match on the main roster, bell to bell, in ring, hands down, and he earned that championship tonight. So I gave this pay-per-view worthy. I love the match. Um, no qualms here.
Yeah, pay-per-view worthy for me. And as a quick aside, LA Knight is on the post show right now. I'm not listening, so I'm going to watch it back because I definitely want to hear what he has to say. Like you, I agree. You have to be happy for LA Knight. First of all, this is a dude who has been in the business 20 years. He's not a young guy,
No, he's
right?
41.
Yeah. I mean, so, you know, he's put in the work. And I loved his work in NXT. And when he came to the main roster, I thought this guy could be a star. But what did they do? They had him become a manager of
Oh
Marseille and
man.
Mansois and had him mixed up with um, Maxine Dupree and involved in
Don't
that
even bring that shit
storyline.
up.
But to his credit, he did his best to make that work. All
Yep.
right. But luckily, we don't have to talk about prior ownership and current ownership, but I think we all know that um, he got his break and they gave him a chance as a wrestler. And well, guess what? The crowd fell in love with this guy. And I was a critic of his in ring work. I thought it could improve, but to his credit, it has improved. And we saw probably his best match, as you said, on the main roster. We saw that tonight. This guy was doing things that we had never seen him do before. What that means is that he knew, okay, I'm in this big spot. This is my chance to wear some gold after all these years to finally get a championship. And he put in the work, and it meant something to him. So he
He took some
finally gets
risks.
over, yeah, in a good match. I'm happy for him. The crowd was happy. The crowd popped just like we thought. We both predicted this would happen. We both wanted this to happen. It did. And it was a great moment. So happy for LA Knight, man. Well deserved. You put in the work, man, and you got your gold. Congratulations.
Yeah, no other way to put it. Um, I mean, it's one thing to kind of go into a match knowing it's kind of going to go this way, and then to see like him putting in that extra effort, like that. It's just number of respect for the man.
Absolutely.
He looked great doing it. The crowd was behind him. It was awesome. It was awesome. Right. And it was good not to see none of Logan Paul's friends come out with the stupid Prime outfit on and
Man, I
all
did
that
not
dumb
want to see
shit.
none of that shit. I'm glad we didn't see it. Yeah, man. No.
uh, all right. Night of Champions SummerSlam continues with Bailey defending her WWE Women's Championship against the Queen. Everyone, bow down.
Mm. Come on now. I mean, I know she's queen of the ring, but to me, there's only one queen in WWE. I'm just
Bow
saying.
down to the Queen
I'm just
of the
saying.
Ring, Nia Jax. Coming out with her crown as she should. Okay, let's get this, let's get this right. All right. Bailey even came out like retro Bailey with the throwback, almost, you know, kind of with the neon colors and everything, like retro Bailey. It was just, waiting for the Bailey buddies to come out. Um, Not quite the Rhea Nia match, but I mean, not many people are Rhea, so it's a little hard to compare it to that. But I will still say this: since Nia has come back, she has been way, way more mobile. Her matches have been better. She moves so much better now. It's, I mean, I don't know if tearing both your ACLs is a good thing, but it seems to have done her some favors. Um, Especially when she had Bailey. I mean, Bailey had her off the top turnbuckle. And normally people used to pick Nia up or try this thing with Nia, and it would be quick, like more like just a drop. No, Bailey held Nia. I mean, I had to go back and I want to start a timer because she held Nia for at least 10 seconds.
Man, that was insane.
At
That
least
was
10
insane. Because Nia has
held
lost,
her.
yeah, Nia has lost weight, but she's still a
Still
big
a
girl.
big
And I'm
girl.
not saying, yeah, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. But for Bailey to hold her up as long as she did,
Like
extremely impressive.
hold her up without any type of bend. Naya's not like leaning forward or back. Naya's sitting and Bailey's holding. Impressive. I mean, Jesus. If nothing else, you really gotta give props to Bailey because that's all her at that point. I
Absolutely, it
mean,
was.
that strength that and then hit that power bomb and then the cover. We had a attempt at a cash in.
Mhm.
I called this. I know I called this. Tiffy Time was gonna do some bullshit, which she did and came down
What?
and and
Did
and
she
and
do it? just to distract Bailey?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I mean. So was she really trying to cash in, or was she just
No,
trying to distract Bailey?
she was not trying to cash in. Okay. It took one little blow and she was done. And, yeah, a lot of people probably thought just because Nia gave her the new briefcase and they made the deal and all that stuff that, yeah, whatever. I said this. It's too soon. It's too soon. You don't want to do too much. They did too much already at Money in the Bank with Drew. They're not going to do it again with the Money in the Bank briefcase this time. If it is, if Tiffy is the cash in on Nia, it's going to be when Nia is beat down. Nia was not beat down at the end of this match. She was ready to go. Okay. Uh,
There's something going on with your audio. You're coming out kind of garbled. I'm not sure what's happening. Are you hearing me okay? Okay. Yeah, you're coming out kind of garbled. I don't know if it's on my end or yours, but we're streaming live, folks. Things happen when you're live sometimes, but we'll get it together. Your mic is showing is muted. Okay, yeah, you're still. I don't read live sometimes. You're sounding clear, but I still can't. Yeah, you're still. I don't read live sometimes. Be patient with us, folks. We'll get it. We'll get it together here.
okay, I hate to use the.
No, I can hear you good now. You're good.
All right, well, I have to use this then.
Yeah, we're good, folks.
I got a few mics hooked up, but I don't really like using this one, but okay.
You sound good though. So yeah, let's go with that. You sound good.
Let me see. Okay. All right. Well, it is what it is. I'll use this just for the night.
You sound fine, man. You sound
I need
good.
to order. I need to order myself a new mic because I changed mics and everything, but whatever.
I'm gonna upgrade mine too. But hey, we're sounding good. Yeah, let's go with
All right.
that.
I will take your word for it, sir. Okay. Let's just move right along here then and get to what I felt like was the real main event tonight. Uh, I will make the strong argument this should have gone on last. I just will because I just feel like after this, the crowd was done.
But I'll explain why it didn't when we get there.
Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk with Seth freaking Rollins
I was on.
as the special guest referee. No other match on this card has had the build this match has had. So, there was a lot of investment. People were invested in this match. I love the way Drew came out, almost looking like all he needed was a mask, and he was super shredder with the gauntlets and the cape he was wearing. Punk comes out. it was a different feeling in the air, especially you had Rollins who was really channeling old school Shawn Michaels. That's thankfully not the booty shorts, but just the
Oh,
t
why you got to bring that up?
They brought it up too, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But again, I just feel like this match had the most story of any match on the card, and it was the hardest one to predict because it's like you can make an argument for either man to win.
Mhm.
Drew, like you said, has been screwed over and over and over again. Lost in his home country, even both times. He hasn't won at Clash of the Castle yet. Okay. So there's that. And then you got Punk, who is making his singles match debut since coming back to WWE last November. So it's like, well, they can't have him lose his first match coming back, can they really? And then you add the element of Seth freaking Rollins, who doesn't like either one of these guys, but you can clearly tell he has a true disdain for CM Punk. I mean, that is there. That is real. All right. Um, I was on like every move that went on in this match. I think everybody was. This is I think they found a way to make Drew McIntyre interesting again. He doesn't need to chase the championship. He just needed a good story, and then they gave him one with Punk. And um, I don't want to jump ahead, but let me jump ahead, jump back. I don't, based on the ending, I don't think that this is over yet.
Not by
Doesn't
a long shot.
doesn't feel like this is done.
Not by a long
So,
shot. It's not.
but getting back to the match, just the dynamic. I mean, Seth Rollins and being the ref, doing his thing, and it almost reminds me of days when Stone Cold used to be special guest ref and he had his own rules kinda. He would, count. And they did some what's the word to use? They did some kind of like that match on SmackDown, year 1999 with The Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels was special guest ref with that whole situation. They kind of threw back to that. So kudos to them for, you know, paying tribute to us that has been watching since and long before, 99 as well. Um, I felt like going into the match that the Punk Seth dynamic will play a role. Kind of did. Um, I can't really buy that he hates Drew McIntyre, so to speak, because when Drew won at WrestleMania, Seth felt like he earned it because he beat him clean. And it just feels like there's some respect there versus Punk. There's like none. And I like how they told the story. I like how they don't shy away from the fact that people in the locker room, fans even didn't want Punk to come back. They don't treat us like we're stupid. You got Seth Rollins front center saying that shit. We don't need you. Matter of fact, we never need you to come back. But at the end of the day, your problem is him right now, not me. Um, and they did the dynamic thing with Rollins being the ref, where the distractions hurt the counts and this and that. Drew kept getting one counts over and over again with Punk, that whole thing. That at the end of the day, this match was the story was told very well. I like how they used the promise bracelet with Punk's wife, AJ Lee, and the dog name on there as the distraction point where he just couldn't control his emotions. Broke the submission, and Seth can play all day that he just picked it up. Whatever, dude. You put that shit on your wrist on purpose. I don't care what you say. You did it on purpose. to get him pissed off because you knew what it was gonna do. Okay, no, come on, you knew what it was gonna do. So at the end of the day, CM Punk essentially not being able to control his emotions cost him the match. He got Claymore into eternity, and Seth Rollins counted 3. It seems still reluctant he counted 3 because I don't think he really was trying to cause a divide, but it just seems like it went that way. And again, these 3 are going to be intertwined for quite a bit. So we're not done here. Um, you know what? This to me was the best match of the night with the storytelling, and I felt like CM Punk had his best match in years. Yeah, he was in shape and he looked great. So I was at pay-per-view worthy, but damn it, with this being the best match on the card, in my personal opinion, I'm giving this superb.
I'm not mad at that. I will go high pay-per-view worthy. I can't go superb because I didn't think the actual wrestling was superb, but the storytelling. I'll go back. I had said on the prediction show that this match had the biggest buildup. I mean, for me, this was the match on the card that I thought had the biggest buildup and had the most pressure on it. All right. Both of these guys, well, all 3 of them actually, Seth as the referee. This story they told, this feud that they built, there was so much in hatred between these 2 invested. This match had to deliver. You add that to the fact that CM Punk, this is his first singles match in WWE in over 10 years. And it's on a major pay-per-view. This could go bad. He had, look, CM Punk, I just have, for me, he has not looked good in his comeback, either with AEW or now. He's been injury prone. I was worried about that. But you know what? All of those were dashed tonight because this was great storytelling. I thought the storytelling was better than the wrestling, but I thought the wrestling was solid for both guys. I got wrapped up in the whole match and Punk and McIntyre going back and forth, and then you spoke about the bracelet. Look, when Seth grabbed the bracelet and put it on, my thinking was, okay, look, he's the referee. He can't just grab the bracelet, go outside to Michael Cole and Cody Rhodes and say, Corey Graves and say, hey, hold on to the bracelet. He just grabbed it and put it around his wrist.
No. I'm not gonna let you do this, Rob. I'm not.
Yes, you are, because I gave you your time. You got to give me my time.
Now, no, it's your time.
You can
but you ain't not gonna sit up here and tell me that was an accident.
I'm not gonna say it was an accident. I'm gonna say that, yeah, Rollins put it on, but I don't think he intended to keep the bracelet. I really don't. He's just like, look, he could have just left the bracelet just laying there in the ring, right? Would that have been better? He just said, well, okay, look, I'm the ref. Let me grab the bracelet. Let me get this out of the equation. All right. Okay. And then let me try to.
Let me put it this way. He could have picked it up and kept it in his hand. He's not fighting. He's not doing anything. He could have said, hey.
He's got to count, man. I'm
just holding this for. He got 2 hands. I'm just holding this for you. Okay. I got this. Or, hey, he could have waited until he had a down moment and just gave it to the, trust me, that's going to come back. Okay. That's coming back.
Well, look, at the end of the day, that's what cost CM Punk the match.
Yes.
Instead of focusing on Drew, the guy who had said pretty much he wanted to kill Punk. That's pretty much what Drew said before this match. Instead of focusing on that, he was too busy focusing on Seth Rollins wearing this bracelet. Like, you think Seth is just going to run off with the bracelet? Anyway, look, at the end of the day, that's what cost Punk the match. And this is the only prediction I got wrong. And I had said that I had picked Punk to win because I thought after over 10 years out of the WWE ring, they they wouldn't have him lose. But I also said that that was the prediction that I had the least confidence in. Well, you know what? I'm happy to say Drew finally got over in one. But obviously, this feud is not over. Obviously, these three are going to be tied together for a little while because, yeah, you're right. The whole bracelet thing, Seth putting it on, pissed off Punk, cost him the match. And then guess what? Drew ends up back with the bracelet after beating Punk, right? So obviously, this isn't over. So we're going to see CM Punk try to get back at Drew. And then somewhere down the line, we're going to see Seth and Punk go at it. I'm all about it. I'll be invested in all of these matches. I love what WWE is doing because the stories are great. But yeah, surprise to me, Punk loses this one. But to me, I look, I'm glad to see Drew have this moment. He was due a moment that he could say, okay,
I mean, he
he
only
can
been
walk.
losing like every pay-per-view.
Yeah, he can walk away from this match saying, not only did I beat CM Punk, I still have this bracelet. But then that sets up the what we know eventually is going to happen. Punk is going to get back. He's going to get his revenge on Drew. He's going to get his bracelet back. Fine. And then maybe we see Seth and CM Punk go at it at some point. I'm cool with all of it. Like I said, great storytelling. I don't know if I've given my grade, but I'm going to go superb like you because I love what they did with this story and with all of the buildup. This was the match I was worried. I kept saying this match has to deliver, and even though there wasn't any blood or there wasn't any any real violence or brutality, I still felt it delivered because the storytelling was so great.
It is a great opening salvo. I think we'll get to the point where there will be blood one way or another. Um, they were pretty physical though.
Oh, they were.
They're really physical. I mean, fighting on the outside and everything. David made mention, like I said, Punk put on a lot of muscle for this match. You can
And
tell
to
looking
Punk's
at him.
credit, he held up. Look, Drew's not a small guy, but he
No,
held him
God.
on his shoulders comfortably for that GTS, or
Yeah.
I think there were two he got, and Punk looked like he held him comfortably.
Punk picked up Brock
Yeah, so
back in the
we're
day.
back in keywords back in the day. All right, we're 10, 12 years ahead,
Yeah.
ahead of that now.
That was a great match too.
Oh,
If
it
you've
was.
never seen CM Punk and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, please go back and watch that. That is a fantastic match.
Yeah. So my my satisfaction with this match comes from the fact that one, I was worried about Punk being injury prone and not looking so great since his comeback. All of those were erased tonight. The storyline continues with these three. And man, like we said on the prediction show, WWE is just doing such a great job with the storytelling, the in ring, everything they're doing, not just with this feud, but with other ones that we've talked about and that we are going to talk about. They just keep us interested, man. Keep us watching.
Yeah. It's a great time to be a WWE fan, especially. I really
Absolutely.
can't say a wrestling fan because there's another brand out there that ain't doing so hot. But it's a great time to be a WWE fan. Actually, I dare say, I say this with confidence. Actually, TNA is doing better than that other company right now. And that I never thought I'd say that, but they just are. I have been paying more attention to that, and it probably is due to their connection to WWE, the link they have right now. But even besides that, if you really just even pay attention a little bit on social media, TNA's got some great storylines going on right now. I mean, they're doing some great stuff right now. They really are. But those what they want to be called, elite ones ain't doing so hot.
Mm-mm. And if they think it's going to help them to get the former boss's son into their company, I think they're sadly mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah. They're gravely mistaken. But hey, at the end of the day, I think we're both kind of saying the same thing. This feud is far from over, and we'll be seeing some form of these three again.
Man, I'd love a triple threat at some point.
I definitely can see that being the thing. Definitely. All right. Another match that I had a hard time predicting. Gunther versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. I did predict that Damian Priest would retain somehow, some way. I want to say you picked Gunther.
I did
The
pick
ring,
Gunther.
you did. You said the ring get around. Yeah, you did.
I did.
So we gotta kind of go back to the first match. Damian Priest was pissed after what happened with, Dominic and Liv. He kind of grabbed Finn Balor, like, what the hell? Where are they? Where is he? Um, and we had a backstage interaction where he apologized to Finn and said, "Hey, I was out of line. I was upset." Finn forgives him and says, "Hey, you need me out there, I got you. I know you said don't bother you, but at the end of the day, I still got you." He said, "All right, cool." And if you've been paying attention to Raw at any point in time the last couple months, there's been a little tension between Damon and Finn Balor. All right. But we get to the match with Jesus, I can't believe I almost called this man Gunther, the ring general, and Damian Priest. I think Damian Priest surprised a lot of people tonight with his strength and ability and how he kind of manhandled Gunther a lot during this match. It's a Gunther match, so it's going to be knife edge chops, and there was a bunch of them. But surprisingly, well, not really, because Damian wears those bracelets. So he cut open Gunther, and he was bleeding. Not just like red in the chest, like Bryan Danielson would get. He was bleeding, trickling blood. And I gotta think it has to do with those bracelets that Damian Priest wears. But the match itself was way more physical. I love it when a champion or anybody in a match really is doing when they waving the person to come on, hit me again. I buy into that kind of thing. Like, you're not just gonna beat me. You're gonna have to kill me to beat me. So I like that. I felt like the crowd respected David Priest, and I feel like you're right what you said yesterday that there could be a face turn here in the near future. Um, Finn Balor comes out and he's pulling for Damien. All right, I will give this one critique. Damian Priest goes on offense and he hits the razor's edge. He hits South of Heaven, and instead of pulling him towards pulling Gunther towards him, he pushes him toward the fucking ropes. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh man, don't telegraph what's about to happen. And I thought, okay, well, maybe he'll just put his leg on the rope and that'll be it. No, Finn Balor comes in and puts Gunther's leg on the rope, and he does the smirk, and then you know what's going on and what's about to happen. Um, Again, another match where somebody can't control their emotions. Damien can't get past. I mean, and this is warranted. I mean, somebody you've been rolling with for the last, couple of years. So, Damien gets distracted trying to fight, trying to grab Finn Balor. Gets in a headlock. The first time he breaks it, gets powerbomb, put back in the headlock, and he passes out, loses the match. New World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. I'm very interested to see what happens on Monday. I really am. And Regine, yeah, you tried to get me earlier, but yeah. Now I can finish your comment, or some of it anyway. Fun twist in the storyline that's going on. Dom ripped Rhea's heart out, and then Finn turned later. I still gotta wait to finish that last sentence, but yes. Uh, we talked about this. This was the possibility that could happen. That they would break up the Judgment Day, or at least split them up a little bit. And we talked about who would be okay on their own. You know, Finn Balor used to be on his own; he'll be fine. But I think that from the looks of it, um, it looks like only Dom and Damien are going to be out, and the rest of the group may still be together. We'll see. I don't know. Match itself, I gave pay-per-view worthy. I was intrigued the whole time. Thought the match was great. This was probably one of Damian Priest's best outings, and the crowd was chanting, "This is awesome" the whole time. And then Finn Balor turning, great storytelling. I'm interested to see what happens on Monday. So they got me intrigued. Pay-per-view worthy.
Yeah, I'm with you. From just a strictly wrestling standpoint, I think I probably enjoyed this match the most because, you know me, I'm critical of the bigger guys. But man, these two big guys, they were laying it in. Those chops, I mean, Gunther's chest was already kind of messed up because of his match with Finn on Monday night. And so these chops from Priest opened him up. And there was an interesting point in the match where Gunther was, you know, he looked up at the screen and saw himself bleeding. And he kind of like, oh, wow, damn, okay, it's like that. And then, yeah, and then
Yeah,
it took off
yeah.
from there. Yeah. I loved it, man. The only part, like you brought it up, Priest has him finished. And instead of pulling him back, he pushes him to the rope. Oh, man, that really, I don't want to say it ruined the match, but that was so idiotic. That's something that any smart wrestler, you don't do that.
Yeah,
You
you
can
don't
tell
push
that.
your person away from you.
Yeah, I don't know if the move that he performed was too far away, and so he had to push him. Either way, that just was a bad look. It shouldn't have happened.
I don't mean to cut you off, but we've seen it 1,000 times. Hit the finisher, you grab that guy, you pull him
You
towards
pull, you don't push.
you don't push.
Yeah, that was bad. Uh, like with you, I'll go pay-per-view worthy. A lot of these matches, I think most of my grades tonight have been pay-per-view worthy, but uh, I enjoyed this one probably the most of all. Like I said, these are two big guys that can go, and they gave us everything they could give. I watched I don't know if you did, but or if any of our viewers did watch the pre-show. I watched the pre-show, so you know I got to see kind of the backstory on Priest and his story of how he came up, how he was homeless, and how you know he thought he was going to be an athlete, but then this wrestling thing came up, and this was like, okay, it's either this or it's nothing. And so this worked out for him. I have really grown to be a Damian Priest fan, and I had said on our prediction show, I thought that I predicted Gunther to win, but I said I thought this would be kind of the springboard for Priest to turn face, and I definitely think that's what's going to happen. As far as the Judgment Day, the only people left in the Judgment Day who look like they could be faces now are Priest and Rhea. All right, because Dom turned on Rhea. He's with Liv now. I think Liv is now the heel in this feud. Obviously, Gunther is the heel in the feud with Priest. Finn turned on Priest. That makes him look like a heel. I don't think anybody gives a damn about JD McDonough, whatever he is. I just don't think
Yeah.
no disrespect, but that's just true. I don't really think anybody really cares about him. I think Priest is full-fledged face now. I think Rhea is back to being a full-fledged face. And the Judgment Day as we knew it is now finished.
Yeah, I think. I mean, they kind of have run their course when you really think about it. And I think if it goes on any longer, it will get stale. They don't have like the bloodline where they can keep pulling from a family tree. They don't have that. You know, it's and you know it's been 2 years of this faction. You know, that's a lot longer than some factions last. We won't get into the retributions of the world, but you know what I'm saying.
I had forgotten all about them until you just mentioned them. Why'd you do that?
They were booked entirely better, but they again to last a couple years. Okay, here's a better reference. Go back to like the Evolution days. Evolution lasted a couple years, and then they were done. Judgment Day, you can make an argument they were a better faction because how long they lasted and who was in it and who started it. I mean, somebody can make the argument. So, and I can see that Finn is ready to kind of go off on his own again.
Bring the demon back.
He's kind of been handcuffed. You know, he did an interview recently talking about the demon thing that he doesn't feel like WWE handled the demon the best way the last couple outings.
He's right.
On top of that, for him, it's a whole day process to become the demon. He does all of that paint himself.
Mm.
Probably minus the back. You probably have somebody do that. But the face, the chest, I mean, it's a whole thing. And he even said that the demon is more of a baby face than is a heel. So that's also an issue. So he didn't say he retired the demon, but he said it would just be a while before it came back. His words. So all right, let's get to well, I'm gonna say the last match.
Well, the last match is typically the main event. I know what you're saying, but
I'm gonna say the last match. Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes. Now going into this, I had high hopes just because I do feel like Solo going from not talking at all to being put in this role as the pseudo tribal chief. That's a big jump. Okay. But I felt like the change in wardrobe, the character, he kind of built into it. And then he brought up all his cousins and everything. It worked. You bought it. It was very believable that this could be, big cuz out the picture. All right, well, I'm gonna take over. And I felt like until that one video package. It wasn't until the one video package that I felt like him and Roman were going to have a feud. And we all know the one I'm talking about, where he talked about Roman losing the title. And if he wants this back, this laid back, he's going to have to take it from me. All right. While I don't think he's a bad wrestler whatsoever, and while I feel like him and Cody, if I guarantee if you go back and watch this match on mute, you probably have a good match. Okay. Here's the issue. You made this match Bloodline Rules kind of at the midnight hour, which we just saw that at Mania, and we kind of know what that means. That means you're going to have a match, and then you're going to have a bunch of people come down, interfere, and then the screwy finish and all that stuff. So we know what that means. Here, they kind of started off screwy to me. Yeah, Solo come out, intense, ready to fight, and then we get this backstage entrance from Cody with this dog. I get it. Man's best friend. Dog's old and all that good. That's all well and good. Okay, but yeah. I don't want to see you putting on your coat. I don't want to see you putting on your mask. You just ruin you don't need to break the fourth wall before you even come out the entrance way. Like, come on. Leave something for we know what this is, but I don't go, you don't go watch Deadpool and Wolverine and then they don't show like the behind the scenes as you're watching the movie, so you see all the stuff. They show you the movie. Show me the movie here, and then I'll watch the 24 later. I didn't like that at all. The whole walking backstage, the makeup table, walking through Gorilla, whatever.
Rhea did the same thing.
All right. So anyway, get into the match. The match itself, like I said, if you put it on mute, I guarantee it probably isn't bad. The problem is all the speculations going on, all the rumors, who's coming back. So you did the bloodline rules for a reason. Is it gonna be the final boss coming back? Because The Rock made it very clear he wants that championship that Cody's got on his shoulders. He made that very clear at the WrestleMania. He told him that thing with you and Roman, don't worry about that. You and me though, we still got an issue. So I thought that there was a chance Rock could show up. Just not to even get physical, but just to remind Cody, don't you forget about me. So the match kind of gets to that point of all right, now we're gonna do the thing. Okay, Bloodline comes out. You got Tonga Loa and uh uh um what's the other guy's name? Tonga Loa.
Jacob Fatu.
No, he came out last. Tonga
Oh,
Loa,
okay. Tamatonga.
Tama Tonga. They need to change their names. Too many T's in here. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa come out first. They do their thing. Man, I feel bad for Tonga Loa though, because he gave this motherfucker eye patch. He can't even put Cody in turnbuckle right. He already messed up the low blow at Money in the Bank. I mean, they really need to send him to the performance center. I don't know. He missing steps. Easy shit. So they come out, then Kevin Owens, then Randy Orton. I should have mentioned that Arn Anderson told Cody Rhodes before the match that he has friends. And I thought we would get somebody else besides, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. He made it seem like there was more than just those two. Anyway, but no. So they take out Tonga Loa and I forgot his name already. And then Jacob Fatu comes out, does the whole thing. What I'm paying attention to is the crowd. Crowd is silent during all of this. Because they know, we know, something bigger is coming. We may not know exactly what that bigger thing is, but something bigger is coming. All those near falls and splashes, crossroads, and this shit doesn't matter. All right. Because something bigger is coming. Now, before I get to that, I got to shout Raging. I feel it's safe to say rest in peace, Judgment Day at this point. In my opinion, it's ran its course at the edge of departure. It went slowly downhill for me. You're right. And
Agreed.
Oh, we got Buzzing with Marlo podcast in the building. What's up?
Oh, what's up, buzzing with Marlo? You know, we got to do a crossover sometime. I'm just throwing it out there. I've seen
Yeah.
your show, and I think all of us together could do something special. So think about that. Good
Well,
to
we
hear.
did it
Good to hear
once.
from you,
We
Marlo.
gotta do it again.
Well, we have Marlo on, but Marlo has some of his some of his boys that he works with, and they're all nice.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Now, let's just get to the big elephant in the room. The original tribal chief comes back.
The
And I'm glad he
OTC.
used that new music because I love it. And he came out by himself, and I already knew who he was gonna go for. He went straight for Solo, Superman punch, spear, and Cody hits the crossroads on Solo for the win. I truly feel like it's you can see it in Roman's face, like, okay, you looking at Cody, you beat me kind of at my own game, respectively. So I can respect you at least. Solo has been disrespecting me since I've been gone, calling me soft, saying I lost these titles and that title and that, and I'm gonna get them back. Okay, that's what you're not finna do. So it was great. It was fantastic to see Roman. Obviously, he got a huge pop. Everybody was waiting to see what's gonna happen. That's what the crowd was waiting on to see Roman, and they got him. He still looks lean, still looks like he's ready to go. Um, so kudos to him, and he knows how to work those facials now. So it's interesting. You can kind of tell he's like, yeah, Cody. And even with the respect, it's kind of like he looked at him like, I'll get to you with respect now. I'll get to you. But this guy over here, I got a problem with right now. Match itself, I'm sorry, as a whole, bell to bell, middle of the road.
Hmm,
This was not a good main event.
hmm.
And I'm just gonna keep it real. It was not a good main event, bell to bell. The crowd didn't seem to care. The crowd was just waiting on what's this big ending that's gonna happen as were we all. They could have put on a great match, and I would have said it was a great match, but that just didn't happen. The chemistry wasn't there. It is what it is. Uh, Middle of the road match, but ending of the night, superb. Roman coming back was superb, but the match, middle of the road.
Well, see, here's the thing: is that I kind of see what you're saying, but Roman coming back, that's all a part of the match. I mean, I know it's because the match hadn't ended when Roman came out, remember? Right? The match hadn't ended. So that's all a part of the match. Sometimes when you're looking at the match, you're looking at, okay, you're not just looking at just the wrestlers wrestling, you're looking at the storytelling, you're looking at what you know, you're encompassing everything that happened before the pinfall. Sometimes you might even be incorporating things that happened after the pinfall. In this case, Roman's arrival happened before the pinfall. So I have to include that in the match itself. And so for me, I would go pay per view worthy, and I would even go above, I would even go pay per view worthy plus, if we want to say it that way. When we did our prediction show, we did chance or no chance, and we said chance the Rock comes back. And I said chance, but very small chance. Chance that Brock comes back. I said chance bigger than the Rock, but still a small chance. We never ever did a chance about Roman coming back, which was the most obvious one to come back.
Well, I didn't because you mentioned it, so I figured, okay, well, that's obviously on the table.
To be honest, I felt like, yeah, it was a big chance that Roman would come back, but I still wasn't sure if they would wait until Survivor Series, maybe even Royal Rumble. Who knows? Because we just saw uh, the Bloodline win the tag team championships last night. So I thought maybe they would just keep Solo being the tribal chief for a while before Roman came back. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I didn't feel like it was a slam dunk Roman coming back. I know the audience was waiting for that, but when they brought out Owens, I'm like, okay, maybe Roman ain't coming back. And then they brought out Randy. I'm like, well, damn, okay, so is Roman coming back or not? But I had forgotten that Jacob Fatu still had not made his appearance in the match at this point.
Oh, yeah, I didn't forget about him.
So then when I thought about that, I'm like, okay, well, now I'm thinking, okay, it's probably pretty certain that Roman's coming back. But you know what? That still wasn't a bad thing, because that's really what these 57,000 people are waiting for. So the music hits, Roman comes, everybody's happy, we get what we want, or most of what we want, what people thought was going to happen. And here's the cool thing about it, is we talked about the storytelling. Okay, Roman cost Solo the match, but he's not done with Solo. And even though Roman is a face now and Cody is the biggest face in the company, they have unfinished business. But then lurking in the background of all of this is the final boss. He wants his shot at Cody. So how does that all play out, right? So we have a lot of good wrestling and storytelling left to come. I love what WWE is doing right now. And I have often described wrestling as a soap opera for kids and for grown-ass men like ourselves. And man, what soap operas do is they tell all these stories. They have their villains, they have their bad guys, and they keep you watching. And that's what WWE is doing right now. Okay, so is Roman going to go after Cody, or is he going to go after Solo? And then when The Rock comes back, does he go after Cody? How does Roman feel some kind of way about that? There's all this shit lurking out there, man. So many different directions they could go, and it's all great. And it's going to keep us all watching. So that's what happened with this match. Like I said, I went pay-per-view worthy. I even went pay-per-view worthy plus, because the wrestling itself, I agree with you, maybe not so good, but the storytelling and that all is, you have to kind of all include that in your grade, because storytelling is part of a wrestling match sometimes, and it's definitely a big part of it in this match. And so for that, I can't go middle of the road. I got to go at least pay-per-view worthy, because the original tribal chief came back. That's what everybody wanted to see, and that's what we got.
Yeah, but that's, to me, that's just separate from the match.
Yeah. I mean,
that's me.
No. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I guess what I'm saying is that, but the story, in some cases, in a lot of cases, is part of the match. We talked about what happened with Dom and with Rhea.
Yeah.
That all was part of the match. You can't really separate just the wrestling itself from the interaction between Dom and Liv and everything that happened. That the story is part of the match. Sometimes that's what makes the match, is the story they're telling. That's kind of what made. See, I had said with Drew and with Punk, I had thought this match needed to be brutal, but you know what? It wasn't brutal. There was no blood, but the story they told and how they interacted between the three of them, because you had a story between not just Punk and Drew, but you had Seth as the special referee, and then the whole thing with the bracelet, that was part of the story, which was also part of the match. And as far as I'm concerned, kind of elevated the match. So, but look, nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It just depends on how you look at a match.
Real quick, Marlo, if you're still on, type your email in the comments. I thought I had you in here already, but send me your email. If we can get you on here real quick, we will. But yeah, just send me your email. But go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, Marlo, good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. and I know I'm kind of, what's the word? Um,
Somebody's got to be the book.
no, I'm picking and choosing, because I did kind of attach the Dom thing with the Rhea Liv thing, but then I did, I kept the Roman thing separate from the match. And but I just feel like here's why is they built up Cody and Solo, and then last night they threw in the bloodline rules thing. And I just really feel like that hurt the match. Because to me it felt like these two one-on-one isn't enough. So we have to throw the crowd a bone to say, hey, there could be something big that happens. So we need y'all to stick around for the whole show and stick around for the end of this match. Because I mean obviously every time Solo comes out, it's the we want Roman chants, and he's done and kudos to him for being able to get through his promos with those chants going on, the what chants going on. He's been able to get through his stuff and stay stoic, stay straight faced the whole time. That's kudos to him. And I feel like he's earned his stripes for the last couple of years. He's been the enforcer, and now he's the leader, I guess. Um, it will be interesting to see in the coming weeks how this plays out. Um, are they gonna have Roman on SmackDown right away? It's gonna take a while. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, even though Roman's back, he's still not full time. I mean, he hasn't
No,
been full time in a couple of years. But I think he's had enough time off. I mean, I would say he's had enough time off had his father not passed away. That was the only thing really holding me back from being confident he would show up, was his father passing away. And me personally, that's always been a big fear of mine. So I don't know how everybody handles that kind of thing differently. And even though I know my pops is one of those life goes on type of people, you can't just dwell on me not being here anymore. Um, it still would be tough. But the thing that I would hang my hat on, and what a lot of people hang their hat on that are parents that lose their parents, is that they have their kids to lean on, because the kids, while they're a part of who we are, they're also a part of who our parents were. Because I see a lot of my parents in my kids. So there's that. Uh Raging, much respect to Solo. Don't feel like he gets enough credit for what he has been able to do lately. This is his best work so far. I agree.
yeah, I
I
agree.
agree.
Look, and I don't want to make this about me, but I have lost my father. I lost him a couple of years ago, and it, even though I had the benefit of knowing that, if you want to call it a benefit, I knew for a long time that my dad didn't have much time, right? So if the blow of losing a parent can be cushioned, mine was because it was kind of a slow decline. So I know how devastating losing a parent can be. But I think you mentioned this on our prediction show about how Roman comes from a wrestling family. And one thing we know about wrestling, the show must go on. And everybody mourns differently. And so I think, and then some people, sometimes to escape the pain of a loss like that, you just try to stay busy. You just try to move forward.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's what Roman's doing. Obviously I can't say that. I don't know him like that, but everybody just mourns differently. So I'll say that for one thing. And then the second thing is that, like you, I do disagree. The whole throwing in the bloodline rules at the last minute, I don't think it was necessary because, look, even if you don't throw those rules in, Does anybody really think Solo is going to wrestle this match alone? I mean, we know that the bloodline is going to show up. So you don't need to telegraph the move by saying, oh, by the way, this is also bloodline rules, right? So that's why I guess to me, I don't hold that against WWE. I wish they hadn't have done it, but I already assumed that the bloodline was going to show up anyway. So I'm not bothered by the fact that they threw in the bloodline rules to facilitate the bloodline showing up. I already knew they were going to show up anyway.
Yeah, I guess that's part of it for me. It just wasn't necessary. And you kind of ruined the whole bloodline rules thing with because of Mania. You can't redo that. You had freaking Undertaker out there. So unless you're gonna bring him out of SummerSlam, don't pull that bullshit. You had The Rock and The Undertaker out there. John Cena. I mean, you had 3 Hall of Famers out there. You had 1 Hall of Famer out there. Well, okay. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are future Hall of Famers, yes. But I'm just you get what I'm saying.
No, I do. I do.
It just wasn't the same. And that's kind of where I don't want them to wear out the bloodline rules thing, wear out the welcome, because I would have thought they would have saved that for The Rock and Cody Rhodes kind of thing. But because I honestly, if you're The Rock and you come back at WrestleMania 40 and you look that good, I mean, he didn't look like he did before. When you go at the John Cena matches, where he looked gassed 5 minutes in the matches, he didn't look like that this time. It helps that it was a tag match.
I was going to mention that.
It does help, but he was very active
He
in
was.
that match. It
He
wasn't
was.
like he just stood there on the apron. He was in the match almost the entire time. You know, obviously besides getting put through the table and spear and all that stuff, I mean, he was fighting on the outside. The interaction with Mama Rhodes, the dude was into the match. He never looked gassed. I think he probably learned from previous training camps that he fine-tuned and found the right people to work with, and that probably helped um, this time. So kudos to him at 52, looking like he's 35 from the neck down anyway.
Crazy,
Looking like
crazy.
he's 35.
Right.
Uh,
Right. Hell, I don't know most 35-year-old dudes, rip like
no,
that.
no. I mean, dude built like a brick shit house still.
Yeah.
Granted, we don't know what he's doing behind closed doors, but
Hey, man, The Rock strikes me as a very driven dude. I'm not going to assume anything.
I'm not saying he doesn't work for him.
But I'm not saying, I was going to say, I'm not saying you're wrong because, you never know either, but yeah, I'm just saying,
It's just I've been in gyms long enough to know for males, arms stay tight, shoulders stay tight, your back will stay tight. Your chest, however, starts to sag. And that's just human nature.
Yep.
The front area is harder to stay tight, and his looks extremely tight for somebody of his age. But that is not saying that The Rock doesn't bust his ass in the gym. I know he has to because
absolutely.
what he did in the ring, and then the movie he did right after that. It was the MMA movie, so it's incredible. And now look at I don't know if you know who Michael Hearn is.
Yeah.
He's
I
in
know
his
Michael Hearn.
50s as well. And
Odell in
jacked up.
WCW. Yeah, I know Michael Hearn.
But yeah. Overall, a good event. I do think that Drew and Punk deserved a little more fanfare versus the middle of the show. But I get it. I mean, that tells me that something big was coming at the end of the night. And excuse me, it's late. Having Roman come back was big. And then the shirt. I mean, he's probably gonna sell a bunch of those shirts tonight.
I might actually go online and order one.
The original.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Tribal
at
chief.
first I'm like OTC, and then
OTP.
and yeah,
Yeah, OTC. You're
oh
right. OTC.
yeah, and then
Not Tribal Chief.
and what was the announcer lady? I get
I don't know her name at all.
okay, all right. I want to say it's Jackie something, but anyway, yeah, she said I think it might mean original tribal chief, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, now that makes sense. So yeah, might check one out.
Yeah, 'cause the whole time I'm like, original. No, it's not OG. It's not original gangsters. I don't know what it is, but it's probably something along those lines.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, good to see him.
Can you believe we live in a day where people cheer Roman Reigns? I mean, how many times did they try to cram him down our throats and nobody
Well,
was trying to hear it?
it's beyond cheering for him. They've been begging for him.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
want
Can you believe
Roman
it?
every week
Not
since
my,
he left.
not my tribal chief. I want my tribal chief. I mean, can you believe it? We live in an era where people want to
Well,
root for Roman Reigns.
that's what happens when you pivot and you listen.
We said it.
Everybody said it. Every podcast I listened to said it. You gotta turn him heel in order for people to like him. I have zero respect for this man, but it worked back in the day as well. When they turned Hogan Hollywood, he was the bad guy for a little while, but eventually he became cool and people liked him because he finally turned heel. They never did it with Cena, which was a mistake to me.
But Cena started as a
He
heel.
did start as a heel, but once it got to the point of let's go Cena, Cena sucks, people thought that they were gonna,
Yeah.
turn him heel, and they never did.
Yeah, I thought they should have too.
And as a matter of fact, he was ready to do it. He had music, he had a whole new gimmick that he had planned out, gear, everything. And they told him no. We're gonna keep you, we're gonna stay the ship. Yeah, it's a good thing they didn't do that with Roman because right now he's the hottest thing in wrestling. Yeah, right now, Roman Reigns is the hottest thing in wrestling. Period.
Who would have thought?
Period. I mean, you go back to the Shield days, everybody thought that, oh, he's gonna be the next guy. Is Roman.
Everybody said, man, that big dude, man, he should be the next big thing. And then
It's just they went about it the wrong way. It's just they heard it and then they gave it to us too quick. If they'd have been patient, built him up, had us clamoring for it a little longer, it would have worked. But because it just I don't know. I don't want to live in the past. I want to live in the now. He's high in demand. He's got everything going for him, and it's what's best for business right now. Is to have him back, and I'm interested to see where this goes now with him and Cody, him and Rock,
him and Solo.
him and Solo, Rock and Cody. Do we get a civil war? Do we get the old bloodline versus the new bloodline? Will Roman be able to rekindle Jimmy and Jay to have a 3-on-3 essentially, or a 4-on-4? Get the Rock, Roman, Jimmy, Jay versus the new bloodline.
Yeah, so many directions they can go. And look, I know they wanted to make this about Roman, but I was kind of hoping to see the wise man tonight too.
I feel he's coming. He's coming. Triple H don't play his whole hand at one time. He don't do that.
Yeah,
We know he don't do that.
You're right. You're right.
So Marlo, where you at? Did you leave? Okay, well, we try to
We
get
have,
Marlo. Maybe next time.
yeah.
We'll get Marlo for the post show. But it's good to see you in the chat for sure. And thank you, Regine, for joining us as well. And for everybody, I saw the numbers go up as we were talking there, but I didn't want to interrupt the
Okay,
ambassador.
nice. Appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, so take care, everybody. That's gonna do it for us tonight. It's already kind of late. Hope you all enjoyed SummerSlam, the biggest part of the summer, as much as we did. We'll be getting back to some more Time to Laugh this week, some more game streams. I got some more Lego builds coming up, so just be on the lookout. And more stuff on the way. More stuff on the way. Appreciate you all for subbing. Sitting at 697 right now. Let's get to that 1,000 sooner than later. We appreciate you all. We love you all. And take care from the real biggie. Rob, take us home.
Well, look, if you're regular listeners, or even if you're not, we love and appreciate everybody who's watching tonight. We love our subscribers. If you are new to the show and you like what you saw tonight, come back, subscribe, tell all of your friends. We just love and appreciate each and every one of you. We're trying to grow this show. We've been doing this a while. And we just got a new logo, and we're trying to do more things to make this show bigger and better. And we can't do it without each and every one of you supporting us. So for those of you who do, thank you. We love you and appreciate you.
Right on. Right on. Take care, everybody. As I said, we'll speak to y'all again soon in a couple days. More movie reviews too, coming soon too, as well. So be on the lookout for those as well. Take care, everybody. Peace.